Hello, everyone, and peace of Christ to all of you. Please invite your friends and let us have some good time together. Today we are going in this time because we promised people who live in Europe to go earlier so they can join us. But as you see, people in Europe, they don't really care. Like we don't have too many people waiting. And this is telling us that this is the wrong time for us to be live on air. So those who they are in Europe who keep asking me to come online in a time which is suitable for them, as you see, you guys are not doing a good job. Otherwise, we should have a lot more people here. So in case you like us to be in this time, for those who live in Europe, well, you have to bring us people to listen. Otherwise, we will go in the time where we have thousands of people listening. Why want to go online when there is 120 people or 200 people? Just use your common sense logic. Now, today we have a question posted by a Muslim, and we say to him, thank you for posting your question. And I will share the question of this gentleman in the screen so we can read it together. Let us see. What is the question? Here we go. So this gentleman here, he presents really for us in his question how the Muslim mentality work, how the Muslims they think, and and they are, as usual, they are copy paste of each other. Nobody even using his brain for a second, and we'll prove it. So here we have our friend here saying his name is Paulurka. I'm not sure if I'm saying the name correctly. Can any Christian explain this? He says, Christians believe the Bible is the Word of God, and Jesus is the Word of God. If the Bible is written by Jesus, if the Bible is not written by Jesus, but by John, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and Paul, are they the Word of God? Do they now replace Jesus as the Word of God? The Christian then say that those who wrote the Bible are inspired by the Holy Spirit. Is the Holy Spirit the Word of God? Had he replaced Jesus as the Word of God? Here you notice that Muhammad, who, as usual, they are following a man who don't even know himself what the Trinity is. According to the Quran, the Trinity is God. He have sex with Mary, and they have a son. His name is Jesus. And now we have a divine family of three. This is because the God of Muhammad is not exist, and Muhammad, he is an idiot who do not know what Christian believes. Have you ever heard of a God, he says such a thing? Even kids, they knew today that the Christian don't believe in such a thing. So when Muhammad, he come with this mythology, which does not exist, not by anyone, he is proving to us how ignorant he is about the Christians. He never met one, maybe. Otherwise, how he come with this? It's just a stupid. And when Muslims, they try to fix it, they say, oh, Muhammad, he was speaking about certain sect. There's no sect ever exist, believe that Mary is divine. Secondly, the Quran never spoke about any other sect of the Christians. So the Quran called all the Christians believe in the same belief. Not some, not 2, not 10, not 20. All of them, they believe that Jesus is God, and not only that, all of them, they believe, according to the Quran, that Mary, the mother of Jesus, she is divine. If we go in the Quran, and we will go back to the question after we show some reference, we will find the Quran say very silly stuff. As an example, in one hand, the Quran says, don't say Trinity, but yet the Quran do not know what the Trinity is, as usual. In the same time, the Quran claimed that the Christian believe that the Messiah is Allah. I will take the word here as he is the Father. But as you know, the Muslim, they don't believe in such a thing called the Father. So surely in this belief are they who say that Allah is the Messiah. For sure we don't believe in Allah anyway. And I know some Muslims, they might say to you, in the Arabic Bible translation, they use the word Allah. Well, this is because they are under the false the influence of Muslims of 1400 years of occupation. Imagine if ISIS occupy you for 1 week. You know, what word you can use, what word you can say. So we don't believe in Allah. That's why we're making fun of him. Surely in this belief, those who they say Allah is the Messiah. So if we are the Muslims now, the one who's talking about logic and, you know, if Jesus, according to the Christians, is Allah, so who is the second person and who is the third person? Here you notice right away that the one who wrote the book is an idiot. In one hand, he said, don't say Trinity. Okay, no problem. And now he is saying that the Christian believed that the Messiah is the same as Allah. So how we believe in 3 and 1 in the same time? And if Allah is the Messiah, according to the Christian, you see, the Quran doesn't say some of the Christians. It says, لَقَدْ كَفَرَ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ هُوَ الْمَسِيحِ. They are kuffar, those who say that the Messiah are Allah. All right. And then you will see here, very strange statement, the Quran saying that Allah, he can destroy Jesus and his mother. Okay, why you are involved in his mother? Because Muhammad, he think that the Christian believe that Allah, he get married from Mary. They have sex. They went to honeymoon, and they have a baby. His name is Jesus, Isa. And then this is what the Christians believe. And as you see here, the Quran doesn't say some of the Christians. And now Allah suddenly, he is showing us that he is so strong, so he can destroy even Mary and Jesus, which is very harsh statement to say. This is stupid, because why you want to say such a thing if Jesus never said what Muslims keep repeating? They keep saying Jesus never said worship me. And that's what the Quran is saying. So why you are saying I can worship, I destroy him and destroy Mary? And you know, as long you can destroy everyone who claim to be God, why you don't do it? I can say the same. I can say I can destroy Jesus. Hey Jesus, that's it, you're gone. Talk is cheap. So the response is of the power of Allah is telling me that Allah can destroy Jesus and Mary. And what Mary have to do with this? Because according to Muhammad and his ignorance, Mary is part of the Trinity. Otherwise, ask yourself why he is mentioning Mary. And here you see, when Allah, he says that the Christian believe that the Messiah is Allah, then the Trinity is gone, because there is no Trinity no more. Okay, who is the second person? Who is the... I challenge Muslims in the chat to tell me who is the second person and who is the third person, as long the Christian believe that the Messiah is Allah. Anyone, any Muslim want to volunteer for us? You see, I'm using the Quran. I'm not using my book, anything. You know, I'm just using the Quran. If the Christian believe the Messiah is Allah, you know, the Christian don't believe that the Messiah is the Father. They don't. No Christian believe in that. If there is somebody believe in that, he is no Christian no more. So, when the Quran say a statement, it's a proof to us that not only the followers of Muhammad are ignorant, explain to us why they are ignorant, because Muhammad himself is ignorant and he do not know what the Trinity is. And then you will see the verse after it is another proof that Muhammad is an idiot. He think that when the Christian they say we are the children of God, and here Muhammad using the word Allah, they are claiming that they are really children of God. So Muhammad, he want to refute the Christian and the Jews when they say we are the children of God and we are his loved ones. Muhammad, he want to get them busted, says to them, so why he punish you for your sin then? Have you ever heard of such a silly, stupid logic? If we are the children of God, does that mean we have a license for sin? Does that mean we have an exception, like, you know, go and do whatever you want? We are children. This is a very stupid, silly argument. It's an answer from a person who do not know how to answer. I mean, imagine this idiot Muhammad is debating me. This is he will be the joke of everybody. So why Allah punish you, Christian Prince, for your sin if you are a child of God? Huh? Well, isn't it Jesus says, not everyone says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of my Father, but the one who do his will? Where in the Bible it says we have a license for sin? It is you, Muhammad, who gave license for sin, and to yourself and to your followers. Whoever say Shahada will be forgiven by Allah. Allah forgive all sin except shirk. License for sin. Forgive all sin. Not some of the sin. All what Allah required from Muslims is not to commit shirk. Shirk, which means associating someone with him. But when Muslims are mushrikeen, the Muslims, they associate the name of Muhammad with Allah. If you go in the City Quran, you will find all those verses claiming about shirk, which is mean, being not monotheist. Chapter 4, verse number 48. Lu, Allah forgiveth not that a partner should be ascribed into him. He forgive all other sin. Then translation is very weird. Translation of food. This guy, I think he is using Google Translation or something. Let us use another idiot. Yusuf Ali. Allah forgives not that partner should be set with him. This guy, supposed he is fixing it now. I mean, the Arabic is very simple. Why the Muslim, they have a trouble with the English? Inna Allah la yaghfuru an yushrika bihi. So Allah, he will not forgive those who put partners with him, but he forgive anything else. So if I'm a Muslim now and I read this, what is the message? The message is I have a free pass to sin, because now I'm a Muslim and I don't accept with Allah any partner. That's it. I'm good to go. So here you notice that in one hand the Muslim, they claim that the Christianity, which is a false claim, that we Christians, we have a free pass to sin, and now because Jesus, he paid for our sin, and the Muslim, they go around and they post this, if Jesus died for your sin, so now why, so you have a license for sin. When Christian, they say Jesus died because of our sin, because if not, we are sinners, he will not come to this earth. If we are not drowning, he will not jump in the water to save us. Why somebody want to get his clothes wet and jump in the water if there's nobody is drowning? This is why we call him the Savior. So very silly argument, and very silly God, and very silly prophet, and as you see, a clear license to sin. While in the Bible, salvation is extremely difficult. Not everyone says to me, Lord, Lord. You can worship Jesus, claiming that you are a Christian, but you don't do what Jesus ordered you to do. You don't belong to him. He do not know you. Even if you are a priest, even if you are a bishop, even if you are a person who claim to be serving all your life, serving Jesus, because as long you are not doing the will of the Father, you did nothing. You just did your own glory. People praise you. People say how wonderful you are. People, they welcome you in homes, like like the priests in the time of Jesus, the Jews. They have a high positions. People respect them. They have a good salary. They have a nice houses. That is just for their own glory, not for God. And we will find that everything cult leaders, they share together, which is sex and power and money, all of them, they are focusing in Muhammad. In one side, the Muslims, they say we are not mushrikeen. We don't associate God with anyone. But if you ask them, what is the Shahada? They say there's no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. So why you putting the name of Muhammad next to Allah? What I just asked you, what being a Muslim have to do with Muhammad? Muhammad is God? Are you replacing Allah by Muhammad? Allah, he sent 124,000 messenger. Muhammad is just one of them. Why you put the Shahada there? And for sure the Muslim, they start adding now, like lately, and I believe that Jesus is a messenger of Allah and Muhammad is a messenger of Allah. But all of us, we knew the Shahada is associating the name of Muhammad with the name of Allah. If you remember, there's a hadith which is very well known by Muslims. Let me find it. Give me a second. when Adam, he committed sin. Adam, he committed sin. And Adam, he asked Allah to forgive him. If you remember the hadith, hadith is called Lawlaka. In this hadith, supposedly, here the Muslims are asking a question if this hadith is accurate. The answer is yes, it's accurate, it's sahih. And Muhammad, everything Allah created for the sake of Muhammad. So Muhammad is God, not Allah. But Allah is just a person who worked for Muhammad. But look, the important our topic today now is when Adam, he committed sin. Read this story. The Prophet of Allah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said, look, even Allah, he prayed on Muhammad. Who is the God? Allah said, when Adam made a mistake and he asked, oh Allah, I ask you for the sake of Muhammad to forgive me. Allah said, oh Adam, how do you recognize Muhammad when I have not yet created him? Adam said, oh Allah, when you created me and blow into my spirit, to me, the spirit, I lifted my head up and I saw written on the arsh, which means the throne, La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah. So I got to know that only, read carefully, only, you would only join your name with him who is most beloved to you. Joined, you only joined your name with him. Let me zoom in. So those pagan black stone kissers, they see who is the polytheist. Allah, he joined his name with Muhammad. It's not even Muhammad joined his name with Allah. Do you see it? So what is shirk? Shirk is joining the name of God with the name of anyone, either God or a person. But this is what Islam teach. It's all about Muhammad is the most important figure. Allah is just a servant. And they claim that Allah is God. But as you see, Allah himself, the first thing he did, he wrote the name of Muhammad in his chair. I mean, this person is in love with Muhammad before Muhammad exists. Do you see what love can do? Like imagine you are in love with your wife, but you never met her yet. You never have her yet. And then you start writing her name on the chair. And then you start saying, there's nobody except me and my wife, but you don't have a wife yet. So what is the secret of this love? This man, Muhammad, he loved himself. He have a lot of ego, and he worship himself. He is God. He is the best. Even his God himself is busy writing his name in the chair, doing graffiti. So when a Muslim, he says, do John and Luke and Mark, etc., replace God, well, it's you who do that. It is you Muslims who do that. Not only this, the Quran says something, Muhammad say the opposite. What Muslims follow? They follow what Muhammad say, not what the Quran say. And what is the excuse? The excuse that Muhammad is a messenger of God. So what? If Allah says something, then Muhammad should not say the opposite, because he is just a messenger. How you can abolish the law by a messenger? And in this story here, you will see that the first line, it says, is it true that the Prophet said, if not me, Allah created nothing? Is it true? If not you, Muhammad, oh Muhammad, I would not have created the creation. So why the creation is exist? Because of Muhammad. And then we ask ourselves, then, is that why Allah is exist? Because as you see, all the creations have one purpose. It's just Muhammad. Even the frog, walk, walk, and the duck, walk, walk, and the chicken, bak, 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 all of them, they are created for the sake of Muhammad. The devil himself created for Muhammad. Everything you have, the zucchini you have, The cucumber created for the sake of Muhammad. All the creation was made for Muhammad. And then we ask ourselves, so Allah himself, he have only one purpose of his existence, is to serve Muhammad. This God, even when he made a chair, he did not make a chair for himself. He made a chair so Muhammad's name will be there. Read with me carefully. It says here, this is the Muslim answer, not mine. It says here the answer, indeed the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the reason for the creation of Adam alayhi salam and the universe. If the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi, they can't even say his name without adding Allah, pray on him and salute him, was not in existence, then Allah, Arsh, the throne of Allah, the chair of Allah, the Lawh of Allah, Lawh mean a tablet, Qalam, which mean the pen, I mean all the furniture of Allah will not be exist. The sky, the earth, the heaven, the hell, the trees, the stones, all other creatures would not exist. So who is this guy Muhammad? When a Muslim is asking a question, how a messenger, disciple of Jesus, are they allowed to be replaced? Are they replacing Jesus? Are they replacing the word of God? Are they replacing God? A Muslim asking such a question, here you see how big the hole in the narrative. The Muslims, they forgot that their Quran is the biggest hole in the world. And the Muslim, because they are blind when they want and they have eyes when they want, they go blind in their stupid book, which is nothing but a chain of stupidity, and we prove it every day. And now they are questioning how those people, they wrote the Bible. I mean, they are just disciples. But who is the one who wrote the Quran? I will go with you, with your logic. Who is a Muslim can tell me who wrote the Quran? Any Muslim? Do we have any Muhammadan? Come on, Muhammadan, I need answers. You know, I don't have time. I have a black stone to go and kiss. The black stone, which is the right hand of Allah. And the funny, those people, they insult everybody, they call them pagan. When this religion is the biggest pagan religion ever. Black stone kissers, they go in front of it, they go around it and they touch it. And even Muhammad, he says, those who touch the black stone and the Yemeni corner, the stone and the Yemeni corner erase their sin. Have you ever heard of a stone erase sin? And do you see how easy to wipe out your sin in Islam? Just touch the stone. This is not the stone, this is my butt. Sorry. Hey, dog, don't, the dog. The dog, he want his sin to be forgiven, and he's trying to touch my butt. What are you doing? No, the stone, the stone. You are confused between two black things. We are talking about the black stone. Do we have any Muslim? Is that really a religion? And when you ask their scholar, Yasir Qadhi, he claimed to be one. I believe there's not even single one of you is a scholar. How you can be a scholar of something nobody, I mean, how you can be a scholar in Islam when Islam is a shish kebab, hummus, falafel, mixed with a mixer, and only Allah knows what is inside the mixer. If you remember, once we went, I was in a Muslim website and I posted a recording, you know, I was recording my screen. I asked the Muhammadan, I have a question. You know, I think the site was called like Convert to Islam something. Why the Prophet, he kissed the black stone? They said, it took him 5 minutes to answer. And they said, you know, because the black stone is holy. And then I asked, well, why the black stone is holy? Took them another 5 or 7 minutes. And then they answer back saying, because he kissed it. Why he kissed it? Because it's holy. And why it's holy? Because he kissed it. So it's a pagan city cult, have zero respect even to the value of God. They associate a man, his name is Muhammad. Even the name Muhammad is not the real name of Muhammad. Qatham is his real name. And Muhammad, he changed it to be the praised one. So if Muhammad is the praised one, who is Allah? Just ask yourself a very simple question. Each time the Muslim, they say Muhammad, they are talking about God. They are not talking about a man, because he is the praised one. My Skype is open. If there is any Abdul is willing to join us, please feel free. Now, we go back to the question of this gentleman, which I like his question, because this question gives us a good exploration or explore to the stupidity of the logic the Mohammedan they have by copy paste. This is what they learn in their schools, teaching them against Christianity, that we are pagan and we are people who worship many gods and we change our book, etc. So look what he said. It is not written by Jesus, it's not written by Jesus, but by John and Matthew and Mark. Who is a Muslim can tell me the Quran is written by who? Any Muslim? Do you Muslims have the Quran written by Muhammad? And the Quran is written, even it's written by Muhammad, which is not. And nobody actually knows who wrote the Quran. There's no written Quran, because Muslims, they never have a written Quran. You see, if you have any Arabic Quran, anyone who speaks Arabic, or if you don't speak Arabic, you can use Google Translation. There's a page, it's called page A. Page A. You can scan it with your Google Translation app or Apple, and you will read that this Quran is written according to the recitation of Hafs, Ibn Asim, Ibn etc., Ibn etc., the son, etc., according to Uthman, according to Prophet Muhammad. Recitation, not written. They don't have a book. Recitation, according to a recitation. So where is the book? And when a Christian in San Diego, and I think all of you saw the video, he challenged a Muslim, he said $5,000 if you can show me the Quran of Uthman. An idiot Abdul, his name is Uthman too, he came to him and he have a book in his hand. And he decided to show him the Quran. This is the Quran. And then in the same book it says there is no way that this is the book of Uthman. The same book he brought in his hand. What we have here is a representation of Allah, meaning, you know, MH, I don't know, are you serious? Are you a Muslim, my friend? Why you don't call me in Skype so we can understand what you are saying? Because what you are saying here, it sounds like Muhammad making Quran. It doesn't make any sense. Look what this gentleman, he said. Real Quran is with Allah. Solve the problem. Here we go. The problem is solved. Real Quran, brother, is with Allah. So what we have with you? What we have here is a representation of Allah. Let me open PowerPoint of Allah. Of Allah meaning. That's deep. And as long you have representation of Allah meaning, so why you claim that you have the book of Allah? Secondly, as long you are saying representation of Allah meaning, sorry, let me drink. I drank coffee and little thing stuck in my throat. Thank you, Lord. So as long you have a representation of Allah meaning, then why you have all the interpretation of Allah meaning? And if we ask you, can you explain any verse for us in the Quran? You will say to us, only Allah knows. So what you are saying to us, that Allah presentation is a big failure. And what you confirm to us, that you don't have the real Quran is with Allah. And why Allah want to keep the real copy? He don't give you another copy. Who is a Muslim agree with this statement? Anyone? Same time, if we go to the so-called Quran, we will find the Quran saying the following, that it's not for the Muslim to write Quran or to make a book. The Quran says that it is haram. Chapter 75, verse number 17, it says, it is on us. And look what the Muslim they add, they add to you, Muhammad. Nowhere in the verse, by the way, it says give it to you. Nowhere. And look how funny is the Muslim translation. In the left side, the Arabic, it's only 4 words. 4 words. The translation is 50. I mean, isn't it a magical that Muslim translating 4 words to become this long line? It's just 4 words. It looks like the words of Allah, they grow and they have leaves and branches when they translate. So they add things that's not there. You change the translator, you will find a new Quran. This is Hilali and Khan. Let us see another idiot. Let us see what this guy, Maududi Dudi. Let us see, said Dudi. How are you, Dudi? Dudi is the best, forget about the rest. Surely it is for us to have you commit it to memory. What? What? Surely it is for us to have you committed to memory. This is what the Quran is saying. You can take those 4 words in Arabic and paste it in Google translation. It is on us to collect it. It is on us to read it. On us, Allah. And here I'm not going to ask you what Allah keeps saying us, because this is a different story, which is more funny. Look like Allah himself, he don't like to be monotheist, he like to be polytheist. He don't feel secure with being one. He feel better when he is many. So he keeps saying us. And the Muslim, they say, oh, because this is like make him majestic. So Allah, he used fake word with fake meaning to have a fake like attitude or fake title. Sahih International. Indeed upon us is the collection. The Muslim, they add now in your heart. Look, what the heck is that? Allah, he said, it is on us to collect the Quran. The Muslim, they put between 2 brackets in your heart. Allah was collecting the Quran from the heart of the Muslims. Are you sure not from the kidney? I thought Allah already have the Quran. It turned to be that Allah don't have the Quran. Allah is going to collect the Quran in your heart. And then to make it possible, look at the bracket. Those bracket is really something. To make it possible, it is recitation. Why is it impossible? I mean, did you give them a Chinese language and they are Arab? So Allah, He promised, and you can change translation as much as you want. All of them, they are a bunch of liars, idiot. They have no dignity. They are the one who changed their book. Look, we changed the translator. We shall be, look what happened. We just changed the translator. Who is this guy? Sarawar, Muhammad Sarawar, peace be upon him. Muhammad Sarawar is more decent than the other one. In this translation, he says, we shall be responsible for its collection and it is recitation. This is the only correct translation until now. Very simple. Who is the one responsible for the collecting the Quran? Muhammad, and it's in front of you. Who is the one is responsible for collecting the Quran? Allah. So you, when you collect the Quran, you disobey Allah. It's in front of you. I did not make anything up. Allah, He gave a false promise. If you read the verse before it, by the way, you will see something very funny. Look at this verse before. Have you ever heard of such a statement from God? Hey, Habibi Muhammad, don't move your tongue fast, Muhammad, when you recite the Quran, okay, Muhammad? Hold on. The Muslim, they say that this book is written before even time exists. This book is in heaven. If you read this verse alone, what do you understand? What any Muslim can tell me. Don't go to the interpretation for now. You just tell me what you see from now. Anyone? According to the interpretation, Muhammad, he started reading the Quran so fast. Why? Because he wanna memorize the Quran. And the verse before it, after it, prove it. So Muhammad, he says, so he repeated, you know, like he's sweeping. So Allah said to him, don't do that. Don't worry. It is on us to collect it. We are responsible for it. Don't worry about it. So it's not for the Muslims even to memorize the Quran. It's not even for the Muslims. It's not their responsibility even to read the Quran. Because both responsibility was on Allah. Until now we have zero Muslim trying to contact us to say something, prove us wrong, as usual. Now we go back to the question. So this gentleman here, he said, do they now replace Jesus as the word of God? You know, if when you Muslims, you recite saying, the Prophet, he said, let me show you something the Prophet said, and you Muslim recite it. Just an example of your silliness and your, logic. Sahih al-Bukhari. This is one of the wisdom of the Buddha's God of the Muslims. The Prophet said, narrated Abu Huraira, the father of the cats. I mean, even the disciple of your Prophet have very weird names. The father of the cats. Why? He got married from a meow. So the father of the cat narrated that the prophet said, if a house fly falls in the drink of any of you, he should dip it and drink it. Good for you, brother. I'm so happy for you. You are healthy, strong. No wonder. I mean, you are eating flies every day. And now you are saying to me, I will use your logic. So when one of the companions of Muhammad, he quote what Muhammad said. According to you, he is replacing Muhammad. This is your logic. So now if I was with Jesus and Jesus said something and then I say Jesus said and that guy said, I'm replacing Jesus. This is your logic. Somebody is saying to me, when you speak in Arabic, what word you use for God? We use many words. There is Ilah, there is Rabb, Rabbi, Khaliq. There is tons of words. But Allah is not my God. So don't be silly. Said if a house, so now I'm replacing Muhammad because I'm quoting what Muhammad said. In fact, you Muslims, when you make the Quran, when you recite the Quran, you are quoting Allah. Are you replacing Allah? Because based on your logic, the one who quote somebody, he is replacing God. Now, the Christians, when they read, let us say, and you said here, the book according to John, to Mark, to Luke, etc., and Paul. And when a Muslim, he says, well, Jesus is the word of God. I like it when a Muslim, he says that, because he just admitted that Muhammad is not. Hey, Muslims, is Muhammad the word of God? Every single Muhammadan agree that Muhammad is not. Okay, wonderful. So Jesus have something special about him. He is the word of God. All other messengers, they deliver word of God. They have just a message. In the case of Jesus, he is the message. And he is the messenger. But to be the message and the messenger, you have to be the originator of the message. You have to be God. Because the word of God is coming from where? Oh, I forgot. I should not ask such a question for the Muhammadan. They have no idea. Do you see this simple question? That will put all of Islam in the trembling container. Shaky, shaky. Hey, Muslims, where is the word of God coming from? You believe it or not, the Muhammadan, they do not know where the word of God coming from. Not only that, they believe that the word of God is not created. Okay. The word of God is not created. Wonderful. So Jesus is not created. You can search right now in Google, Prophet Google, peace be upon him. Trust me, if Muhammad exists in the time of Google, he will claim that Google is coming from Allah. And Harry Potter is his messenger. If Muhammad, he watched the Hobbit movie, he will make a chapter, it's called The Hobbit. All the fiction stories was exist in the time of Muhammad, we find them in the Quran. So Muhammad, he just came in the wrong time. Otherwise, he would have billions of chapters. The Harry Potter chapter, the Hobbit chapter, the Lord of the Ring. And by the way, the Lord of the Ring is a Muhammad book. Muhammad, he believed that Sulaiman, he have a ring, control the whole world, control the genie. I want to get a word on a ring like this. Man, I'm sick of it. Each time I ask a girl to marry me, she said, no way. If I have a ring like this, I will have no problem. Finally, she will not even see how I look like. She will immediately agree. Because I have the ring. And the second you wear the ring, you became the king. And then Sulaiman, he went to the bathroom and he gave the ring to his wife. Sulaiman, why you do that? Why you give the key of your power to your wife when you are going to the bathroom? The Muslim, they have an answer. You cannot take the ring of Allah to the bathroom, brother. Oh no. What will happen to the ring if we take it to the bathroom? It's going to lose its power? Are you saying to me that the power of Allah can be dissolved by shit? Excuse my language. So Sulaiman, he go to the bathroom, and I'm just trying to understand the Muslims when the Muslims try to speak smart. A Muslim who try to speak smart is being smart. I mean, what you can say? He's a smart Muslim. But how you can be a smart Muslim? The Lord of the Ring is written by Tolkien, who is inspired by Catholicism. You are just an idiot. What does have to do with what the Lord of the Ring have to do with Catholic now? Here we go. Let us blame the Jews. Just take a hike, Jada. In order for you to be inspired by anyone, you have to have a belief in your belief that you believe that there's a ring control the world. Do the Catholics have such a belief? Copy-paste people? Don't get married. Your husband will leave you second day. So this is your prophet saying as an example, and this is the story, by the way, it's a reliable sources. Sulaiman army was 100%, 3,500 miles long. I mean, this is even bigger than my army. An army 3,500 miles long? What about the width? Maybe he put them like one after one, like the ants, you know. 3,500, are you sure? And then the Muslim, they have their belief, the Quran saying that the army of Sulaiman have a chicken, birds, genie, which is Satan, and a human. Look how they match together. Satan and chickens and a human. The best cartoon movie ever. 25% were a human. 25% is a genie, which means shaitan. 25% desert animals. What the heck is that? Is that including lizard? No way, brother. Lizard is the enemy of Allah. 25% birds. And this Abdul is trying to speak logic with us. And he want to teach you how to think and how to use your brain. 1,000 house of glass. I like to have houses of glass. I mean, glass was very popular at that time. Yeah. I mean, Sulaiman, why he want to build a house? Actually, Sulaiman, he liked to have a house from a glass so everybody can see him through the walls having boom, boom. He's a very transparent person. 1,000 house of a glass where he have who made above the wood. In glass above the wood. In them, there's a 300 wives. Like, what the heck with this calculation? Why 1,000 houses when you have 300 wives? Oh, hold on. Don't stop here. And 700 slave girls. Now we know why 1,000 house. Lived. Sulaiman used to order a strong wind to lift the house and order the soft wind to move the house slowly. Look at the logic, slowly, because if the wind is strong, the house might collapse, brother. Come on. So now Muslim, they believe in a flying carpet, and the guy, he have 3,500 soldiers, all of them, they are in the top of the carpet. And the Muhammadan, they are coming to us trying to, like, let us be logical. You know, like, let us use logic. A Muhammadan is logical. Jada, you are not welcome here. Anyone here, he come to attack any Christian church, we will fart at you, and we will consider you a person of the devil. Only the devil he'd like and he love to divide the Christians. We are Christian, we don't believe in anything called Protestant or Catholic or Orthodox. Christians are those who follow Jesus. You can go to churches, whatever their names, doesn't change anything. The question is, who is your God, who is your Lord, who is your Savior? So anyone want to come here, admins, don't hesitate. Anyone he try to divide the Christians, step on him. Send him free shipping and hand it into Allah. You got my permission. There was no even need for warning. So Suleiman used to order a strong wind to lift his house, the flying carpet, and then therefore revealed to him in the Quran that when he was between the heaven and the earth, I have increased your kingship, Allah said to him, in such a way that if anybody speak in any part of your kingdom, the wind will make his conversation reach to you. Brother, Suleiman not only have the biggest army, the biggest flying carpet, the ring controlling sex drives, controlling genie. No. If you fart at home, Suleiman, he can hear it, even if you live in America. Anyone he say anything, Suleiman, I feel sorry for you, Suleiman, because, I mean, can you imagine hearing everybody? I mean, you will go crazy. Imagine now I can hear all my neighbors, just my neighbors, talking in the same time. Not the whole world. Just a few neighbors. That will destroy you. Is that a blessing? Or this is stupid? And the Muhammadan is coming to speak about logic. Narrated that Suleiman traveled in a movable equipment, brother. He used to take along his household. The guy don't go alone. His wives, his slaves, his cook, his servants, everybody. His army too, and his servant, and his accountant, and his scribes. And he used to sit they used to sit, look, they used to sit in the roof next to each other. Where? Where they sit? On the roof. This guy who have a kingdom and he have an army of 3,500 miles long. They sit on the roof. Brother, don't you think you Muslims are a little bit exaggerating? I think they sit in the balcony. There's no way in the roof, brother. Why? They are chicken. They are roosters. What do you mean in the roof? How the roof can handle this weight? And the house is made from glass. What kind of a glass can carry all these numbers? Millions of soldiers. And not only that, they sit next to each other at one corner. Look, the other corners are empty. There's still vacancies. Take a note, please. If you want to sit in the other corner, we have a lot of vacancies. The whole world now is sitting in one corner of the roof. And then if you read the rest of the stories, you will die laughing. It's really horrible. Let us go back to the question. By the way, if there's any Muslim who would like to join us, feel free. My Skype is open. So, if somebody, he quote what Jesus said, according to you, he's replacing Jesus, that's mean you Muslims replace Allah and Muhammad replace Allah, because Muhammad is quoting Allah. The Quran of it, all of it supposedly, you are quoting Allah. Oh, hold on. Have you ever heard of a God? He caught an ant. You know, the Muslims, they say that the Quran is the word of Allah and nobody can make Quran. But when we go to the Quran, you will find that the one make the Quran is an ant. As an example, not necessarily, chapter 27, verse number 18. You can read the verses before it because they are funny, you know. Look at this. Suleiman become the higher of to David. He said, people, we have been taught the language of the birds, and we have been granted share of everything. Everything. That is a big statement. This is indeed is the manifest, the favor from Allah. Solomon army consists, look, Allah talking, consists of a human being, jinn and bird. You will notice in the story they added like another, like the animal of the desert. Here it says only human being, genie and bird. And we are gathered together in his persons in ranks. Look how organized the army. Somebody talk to Putin. No wonder you are not winning. You need an army like this. You need an army containing 1/3 human, 1/3 shaitan, and 1/3 chicken. And I will tell you how the chicken can help you to win the victory. You attack the enemy are hungry. They will be busy eating chicken and killing chickens. And then you shoot them. Perfect plan. And then you continue saying, when they arrive to the valley of the ants, one ant said, what? Let me go back to the question this guy he said. He said that Mark and John and Luke and Paul, are they the word of God? Are they replacing Jesus? Why? Because they are quoting Jesus. So are you saying to me that when Allah he quote an ant, one of the ants she said, God he is quoting an ant? Quoting who? An ant, which is scientifically false because ants are deaf and they are blind. They can't even hear. They don't talk. They are blind in their hearing. They are blind in their mouth, which means they don't have a mouth to talk with it. You know, they communicate by vibration or chemical. That's all. So one of the ants, she said, enter your dwelling, lest you be carelessly crushed by Solomon army. If you remember, Allah he just said that Suleiman said, so Allah is quoting Solomon now. Solomon become the higher of David, and he said, Allah quoting Solomon. So Solomon making Quran. We have been taught the language of the birds, but less than 2 foot after, we will find that Suleiman, he understand the language of ants. Listen carefully. Allah he taught Solomon the language of the birds. The language of who? I mean, the verse is so clear. He been taught the language of the birds, not the language of dogs, monkeys, junkies, whatever. No, birds, that's it. He keep going in the highway. He arrived to California in the valley of the ants. One of the ants, she said, and I love it, that only one of the ants she said that. Because this is the ant, she is speaking in the name of Joe Biden. Like, come on, every kingdom, they have one spokesperson. We know that. So the Speaker of the House, one of the ants, she said, enter your dwelling. And I love it when it says she said. She said. In Arabic it says قالت. But ants don't talk. Let it go. Enter your dwelling lest you be carelessly crushed by cinnamon. And what is really making me amused by this story is how the ant, she knew the name of cinnamon. You see, I know I'm very famous, but I cannot believe that one day that ants will know about me. Imagine I'm walking down street and one of the ants, she said to the other ants, hey, be careful. Christian Prince is coming. He's going to step on you. This guy is an idiot. He walks blindly. Don't you see what he do with the Abdul? Hide. How she know his name? And now, as long you are a person who have logic, I will give you 3 options to choose how she found out the name of Solomon. She is inspired by Allah, or she is a messenger of Allah, or she was in the page book of Solomon. A subscriber. The ant, she knew the name of Solomon. And then Solomon, very logical story, he smiled at the ant remarks and he said, thank you, Allah. Thank you, Allah. Lord, inspire me to thank you for your favor upon me and my parents, and act righteously so as you please admit me by your mercy. Suleiman, now he felt so grateful. Look, brother, I went to school, I learned the language of the birds, but now I understand the language of the ants. Looked like Solomon, he entered the wrong classroom. It's called birds class. But when he went inside, the teacher was opening the wrong book. Today we will teach you how to speak and learn the language of the ants. Page number 1. How the ant, she say, yummy, yummy. So a Muslim is speaking about logic. I mean, what is your logic, Muslim? Why your logic only wake up when you question Christianity? What is the purpose of this story? And how Allah, he is making Quran when he is quoting Sulaiman, he is quoting the ant, he is quoting the bird, he is quoting the chicken. Who is the one who made the Quran? And by the way, according to the hadith, Sulaiman, he ordered the arrest of the ant. What the heck? He told his soldiers to bring the ant to him. I want to know how he was able to find which one. I mean, listen, he heard the ant, which is impossible because even ants don't talk, they are deaf. And now he's asking the ant, he's questioning the ant. He ordered his soldiers to bring the ant. How they were able to find which one? I mean, do you think this ant, she dressed differently? A Muslim speaking logic. How hypocrite. Let me see if I can find the arrest of the ant in this page here. Hold on, give me a second. What is the ant? The ant is here, the ant is here. We are trying to find the ant. Here we go. We found the story of the ant. Ali ibn Ibrahim have narrated that when the wind raised the throne of Ibrahim. Look now, Ibrahim, he have a throne too. Yes, throne fly. And reached the field of the ants. What the heck? Ibrahim? From where silver and gold come out? Now we know where silver and gold is coming from. They lie to us. It's coming from the land of the ants. Never listen to your government or your school teacher. This is where silver and gold is coming from. There is one valley of Allah where silver and gold is grown. Man, Allah, He planted golden seeds and they give us golden fruits and they grow. He has protected it. Allah, He protected this valley. Nobody can go there. It with it weakest creature like ants. And if a powerful army want to enter, cannot do so. And Abdul is questioning logic. And by the way, just to find you a solution for those stories, any story sound very embarrassment for them now, they will say, we don't accept it. That's it, we solve the problem. You see how easy? We fix it. We don't. This is da'if. It's not the hadith is da'if, it's you da'if. You are weak, and now you feel that this is destroying your belief, and people are making fun of it, and you do not know what to say. According, and look here, they will say to you da'if, right? In the page in front of us says, according to a reliable chain of narrators, narrated from, etc., that when the ant conversed with others, the wind took their conversation to Solomon. The ant, brother, she is not even speaking loud. But you cannot hide anything from Solomon. Because the wind, she made a mistake. She spoke when one of the ants was breaking winds. And right away, the wind carried the conversation to Solomon. So they took their conversation to Solomon. And here it says their conversation. But the Quran says only one. At the time when he was in the air, unbelievable. Solomon is now flying. So how he will crush, like, hold on, Muslims. How the ant, she is saying to them, Solomon will crush you if the guy is even flying. How the Quran says, Solomon will crush you. Have you ever heard of somebody will crush somebody stepping on him when he's flying? With his flying carpet? Solomon asked the strong wind to stop. Stop! The wind like break. Stop! And the wind stopped. The flying carpet in the middle of the wind, in the middle of the sky. Very normal, by the way. Those things happen always, especially if you're a prophet of God. You know, you are flying, and you told the flying carpet stop. So what do you expect? The flying carpet will stop. What's wrong with you? Why it's hard to believe? What's wrong with people? "60 minutes of winds. Stop! The time stopped. The clock stopped. The wind stopped. Because Suleiman, he heard one of the ants. She is saying something very important. Suleiman will crush you, ants. The watch of Suleiman stopped even working. Who is this ant who said that? Suleiman said to himself. Why she said that? Suleiman said to himself. Is it possible there is a conspiracy against me? Suleiman said to himself. I need to investigate why she said that. Suleiman said to himself. So he said, stop. The black carpet, oh sorry, the flying carpet stopped. And he called out to the ant. Hey, ant, come here. I like it when Suleiman is so strong and so firm. Ant, hey you. No, not this, not. Stop moving. You ants are a lot. You, no, not stupid. Sit down, not you. The one behind. No, not the one in the top. Suleiman, he called the ant specifically. And he said to her, come here. And then Suleiman, he said to the ant, he said, don't you know that I am a prophet of Allah? And I do not oppress anybody. Yeah, Muslim, they don't oppress anybody. Come on, no way. He's a Muslim prophet, you don't oppress. He just kill, rape, you know, but you don't oppress. And said, yes, prophet of Allah, I know you are Suleiman. Then he said, why you are scare others from me and order them to enter their holes? Oh, please don't mention the word holes. Suleiman, you are going to hurt the feeling of the Muslims. I mean, why you do that? From all the words in the dictionary, why you choose the word holes? What is your brain? It's not right. I apologize from the Muslims if we hurt your feeling by using the word holes. Please, just bury that hole. So Suleiman, brother, he asked the ant, why you are scaring everybody of me? Don't you know I'm a prophet of Allah? I don't oppress. The Suleiman question makes sense. But the ant, brother, the ant, obviously she attended a lot of my videos. And she have a good logic. So look what she said. The ant said, I was scared that when their vision falls on you, they will become fascinated at the beauty of this world. The ant flirting with the prophet of Allah, Suleiman. He is so pretty. He looks so good. It's not your fault, prophet. The ant, she said to him. No, you got me wrong. I told them to have shelter because I don't want them to see you. If they see you, they will lose it. They will abuse it. The ants, they might even start touching themselves in a form of a sexual contact. I mean, she is an ant. She knew her families and her tribe and her kingdom. She is a psycho ant. So she don't want them to be tempted by you, Suleiman. Then the ant asked Suleiman, who is more honorable? Look at the conversation, brother. Guys, I want to go to my yard. I see if I can find one ant she can speak to me for the sake of Allah. Just one ant, man. This must be the Aflaton ant of the ants, a philosopher ant. Look at the deep question. Who is more honorable? You or your father, Dawood? Suleiman said, my father is much more esteemed and honorable than me. And said, then why is it so that your name has one more alphabet than your father's name? I got you busted. I got you busted. Chicka, 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 chicka. Look at this conversation, brother. What the heck? How you can debate such an ant? Let me close my Skype. I'm afraid this ant, she will call me. I mean, that will be, I don't know what to say to her. This ant is so smart. Suleiman, if your father is more important than you, he is more esteemed and honorable than you, then how come your name have one more letter than him? That's deep. That is. What is the name of Muhammad Zakir Naik? Well, Zakir Naik, his name is longer than David. What about Shabir Ali? What the heck was that? So if the name is longer, now you are more honorable? What the heck? This is philosophy itself. This is where philosophy is coming from. And then the Abdul is questioning our Bible, trying to be logical. So according to him, if the disciple who they accompany Jesus, they are quoting Jesus, they are replacing Jesus. And then he continue. Let us see how the knowledge, how knowledgeable this Christian prince is about his own religious scriptures. I don't know, brother. Are you sure you are not the ant in the story of Solomon? Because this is a very deep question. And look what you said here before you reach that point. The Christians then say that those who write the Bible are inspired by the Holy Spirit. Is the Holy Spirit the Word of God? Had he replaced Jesus as the Word of God? That's deep. Let us go to the Quran so everybody will die laughing at you. I will type in your stupid search engine, Yellow Pages book, the word Ar-Ruh al-Qudus, the Holy Spirit. Chapter 2, verse number 87. Each time the word the Holy Spirit mentioned, it's about Jesus as a must. We gave Jesus, the Son of Mary, clear sign and strengthened him with the Holy Spirit. What? Why Jesus, he need the Holy Spirit? Based on you, is the Holy Spirit is the Word of God? No, the Holy Spirit is not the Word of God, my friend. No. The Holy Spirit is the Holy Spirit. So how the Holy Spirit is giving strength to Jesus? Any Muslim can answer us? If Allah already gave him the signs, and now Allah he decided to strengthen Jesus by the Holy Spirit. So what the Holy Spirit did exactly? Any Muhammadan? Any Muhammadan can tell us what exactly the Holy Spirit did? And look how silly, how stupid the Quran is. So Allah, He gave Jesus clear signs. Clear. And we strengthen him with the Holy Spirit. And then what the Jews, they do? Is it that whenever there come to you a messenger with which what you yourself desire not, you are buffed up with the bride, and some ye called impostor, and the others ye slay? I will use the logic of the Muhammadan. The Quran says, if Allah gave you victory, nobody can overcome you, which is a verse stolen from the Old Testament. If the Lord is with me, nobody can be against me. Read and laugh. The Quran claiming that when Allah, He made a promise, Allah, He keep His promise. Did Allah make a promise to Jesus to be victorious against the Jews? Allah, He failed His promises even with the Muslims. He promised them if one of you fight 10, He will win. They lost. They lost miserably. Then when they come back and they lost, they came to Muhammad. Right away, Muhammad, he heard the news that they lost. So Muhammad, he have a solution. He said, now Allah, He found out that you have a weakness. So now your task is lighting 1 against 2. From 1 to 10 to 1 to 2. So obviously the support of Allah have zero effect in victory. So when Allah, He supported Jesus, is His support for victory or to be a loser? In chapter 3, verse number 160 says, if Allah is your helper, no one can defeat you. Who was the helper of Jesus? Any Muslim can answer? According to you Muslims, Jesus was defeated. Why? Because His book is gone. I mean, this is the biggest defeat, because all the purpose of Him to come, the most important one, is to give a message from God. According to you, He's just a prophet. He's a messenger. According to you, and this is what the whole comment is about, that the book of Jesus is gone. So how Allah, He supported Jesus by the Holy Spirit, if the Quran says that if Allah supports somebody, nobody can defeat that body? Do we have any Muhammadan? Until now, 0 Muslim in Skype. So now you put your God in trouble. Allah, He promised that the one who Allah is in his side, no one can have victory against him. So where is the book of Jesus, which is the book of God? Any Muhammadan? Anyone? Very simple question, they cannot answer. Not only that, there's other verse in the Quran saying clearly that nobody can change the word of Allah. Remember, the Muslim, they say there's no contradiction in the Quran, and the Quran cannot have contradiction, which is very funny to say. But as you see, this is a contradiction. Your claim contradict what the Quran says. The Quran says in many places, chapter 6, verse number 34, chapter 6, verse 115, chapter 10, verse number 64, chapter 18, verse number 27. Nobody can change the word of Allah. Nobody. No one can alter the word of Allah. So in one hand, the Muslim, they claim that the Injil is given to Jesus from Allah. Even the Torah was given to Moses. In one hand, this is the book of Allah. But as you see, the Muslims are so desperate to prove to us that the book of Allah is changed. Well, if this is true, that is additional proof that Allah can't be God. For Allah, He promised that no one can change the word of Allah. And isn't it the Bible is the word of Allah? And actually, there's one of you, he made a good comment, and I put it in the top of the previous video. I did pin it there, so everybody can read it, because the Christian who made this comment is, you know, he made a smart comment, which is saying the same thing. If the word of Allah, nobody can change it, and if the gospel is the word of Allah, that's mean you Muslims, you are accusing your God Allah that He cannot keep His promise. All the Quran have tons of verses saying nobody can change the words of Allah. None. Now the question is the Injil is the word of Allah according to Islam? The answer yes. The Quran says not only calling the book of Jesus book, no. The Quran choose a Greek word, which is telling us that your Quran is speaking about the book of John. All those verses we see, they are speaking about the Injil, the Injil, the Injil. Look how many verses. Injil, 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 Injil. All the Quran keeps saying Injil. In chapter 3, verse number 3, you will see the Muslim, they say something very weird in the translation. It says, He sent the book, between two brackets, the Quran, to you, Muhammad, in all truth, it confirming the original Bible. Is that really what the Quran says in Arabic? In Arabic it says, مُصَدِّقًا لِمَا بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ, believing in what is between his hands. Not the original or fake, what is between his hands. And he called it Torah and Gospel. So based in this scenario, the true Torah and the true Gospel exist in the time of Muhammad. And this is a false translation. Let us see if we change the translator, if we will find a better result. Confirming what came before it, but this is not what the verse saying. In Arabic it says, what is between his hands? Why the Muslim they don't want to, why they don't want to use the words between his hands? What is the problem exactly? Any Muslim can tell me? I will copy the part of the line where it says مصدقا لما بين يديه, and I will paste in the front of your eyes in Google translation. Does it say what is between his hands? They are showing the Quran translation, because this is exactly the Quran translation from the Muslims. Let us do this then. This is a false translation. I will use this. I will not add the verbs, etc. So Google will not copy the Muslim translation. I will type it as it is. مصدقا لما بين يديه. See? Confirming what is in his hands. I will make a screenshot for what I wrote, because I know most of you don't speak Arabic, and I will put it next to the Quran, so you can see if I add it, if I change anything, because I know most of you don't speak Arabic. This is what I wrote. Let's see if we can make it. Do you see it? And this is what is in the Quran. What is between his hands? The reason they corrupt the book of their God, and they took what it says, which it says between his hand, he believed. He believed in what is between his hand, which is the gospel. Because if they say between his hands, that means he have the original book. Not only they have it, he have it. It is between his hands. And if Muhammad he have the original gospel, then why Muhammad don't publish the original gospel? And why the Muslim don't have the original gospel? Are you hiding it? They are corrupt, they are liars. However, there's other places in the Quran which get the Muhammadan busted. Chapter 2, as an example, verse number 89, chapter 2, verse number 91, chapter 2, verse 101, and there is many other chapters. What it does say. And when the scriptures come to them from Allah, confirming what they have. Different translation. Community God. There's a translation called Community God. Okay. Confirming what they have. Different translation. Hilali Khan. Confirming what is with them between two brackets, Torah and Injil. But remember, the only thing the Christian they have between their hands is what Paul, John, Mark, Luke, they said. the four gospel, the book of Acts, etc. 27 books. But the Quran confirmed it 600 years after Jesus. Not 6 years, not 60. And now we need to ask ourselves how he can confirm what is with them if what is with them is the books of those disciples. If you say to me, no, this is not the book of those disciples, the Quran says the word Injil, as you see in front of you. Injil. What is Injil? First of all, you Muslim, you claim that Allah, he sent Jesus only to the Jews. So how come his book is Injil, which is a Greek? Have you ever heard somebody, his book, he speak the Hebrew, and you believe that Allah never sent a messenger to any nation except in their own language? So in order for Jesus to be a messenger for the Hebrew, his book have to be in Hebrew. And this is your Quran saying that, not me. Chapter 14, verse number 4, Allah, he said, Aka Muhammad, we send not a messenger except, between two brackets, to teach in the language of his own people in order to make things clear to them. So the logic of Muhammad here, this is a very smart logic, by the way, very good, very good. But this logic is against the one who said the logic. How Muhammad now is a prophet for Indonesia? How Muhammad is a prophet to Germany, to China, when the Quran says that Allah never sent a messenger, and he sent this message when Muhammad is already a prophet. This is a message delivered to Muhammad, so Muhammad already is a prophet, and Allah confirmed, I never sent a messenger except in the tongue of his own people. So Muhammad, the Quran confirmed, he was only sent to his own people. Because if I don't send him to his own people only, the message will not be clear. Why? Because he have to be one of them, so he understand their culture, their language, and he have to deliver the message in their tongue. And the verse in front of you. Do we have any Muhammadan? And now, as long you mention that the disciple of Jesus, let me go back to the message, but we will go. As long you mention the disciple of Jesus, don't you know, Muslims, that those disciples are mentioned in the Quran? And not only they are considered as a messenger of God, sent by God. If you go to the chapter Yasin, which is proven Islam to be worshipping the moon god, because Yasin, sin is the moon god, Ya is a word meaning God. And until now, every Muslim, he give you his own interpretation for this verse, because Muhammad is stealing words from other religion. Yasin, God sin. By the Quran, God sin, the moon god. You can search right now in Google, the moon god sin. Just type it. Yeah, is a word mean God. God sin, he swear by the Quran. But God sin, suddenly he claimed that the one who sent by Jesus, they are sent by him. Our friend in the comment, he said that Paul, he did not even meet Jesus. His Quran says that Paul was sent by Jesus. If you open Ibn Kathir or Al-Baghawi or any tafsir, you will find that the three messengers are John, Peter, and Paul. And they were sent to the city of Antioch. I challenge the Muslims to tell me that it's not true. Who are they, those three messengers? You can go right now and open the interpretation you wish, including Ibn Kathir. And now you will see those silly Muslims, they saying, this is what one of the companion he said, this is not true, and this is hadith is da'if, and the Christian believe in that. The Christian believe in that. The Christians are the one who explain for you a verse in the Quran. This is Quran. And this is Ibn Kathir. Three messengers, who they are? Who are they? Hold on, look like we open. Here we go. Read carefully with me. Ibn Ishaq reported that there was a city of Antioch. I do not need to continue anymore. That's it. We know the story now. The city of Antioch. Those are, is it Jesus who went to the city of Antioch? Your Quran confirmed that there are three messengers. And the funny here, the Muslim in this, in the page, they give them three names. Sadiq, Saduq, very funny name. Sadiq, which means truthful. Saduq, which means truthful. And Shalom. And then if you go down a little bit, you will see it says, we sent to them two messengers. They hastened to believe in them. So we send them the third. So we enforce them with the third one. Who is this third one? Read carefully. We supported and strengthened them with the third messenger, Ibn Jurayj, the companion of your false prophet. He said, narrated from Wahab ibn Sulaiman, companion of the companions. The name of the first two messengers were Shamun, Simon, and Yohanna, which means John. And the name of the third is Bulos, which means Paul. And the city was Antioch. Remember the Abdul, he is denying how we can accept the disciple of Jesus to speak of Jesus. Are they replacing the Holy Spirit? Are they replacing the Word of God? Are they replacing God? And then we find that his Quran saying that the messenger of Jesus are messengers of God. And not only that, according to the Quran, Paul and John and Simon Peter, they did amazing miracles. They asked them to do extreme, hard miracles nobody can do to prove who they are. And they did. And as long we confirm, even from the cult of Muhammad, that Peter and John and Paul, they are messengers of God. And not only, by the way, even your book says that Paul, he saw Jesus. And Jesus appeared to him in the gate of Damascus. This is in your books. And not only that, Paul, he turned to be blind. And then he repented and he asked Jesus for forgiveness. This is in your books. And now, as long we have even from your books evidence that the disciples of Jesus are messengers of God, then Jesus must be their God, because I cannot make you a messenger of God if I am just a messenger. A messenger, he have no authority to do an act of God, to make you a messenger. If I am a messenger, I cannot make you a messenger. Very simple. God have to make you a messenger, not me. And the Quran says, and when we send to them two messengers, so the Quran claiming that the one who sent Simon Peter and John is Allah. See what happened to Muhammad when he steal information from other belief? He got himself busted. And now we have 5 fingers over the ass of your prophet. And this is what makes Muslims angry, because we use their own books to get them busted. If I try now to quote reference from the Bible from now until the coming century, the Muslim will say to me, you know, we don't believe in your book anyway. It's corrupted. But now what he can say? Can he deny? Yeah, he will deny. He will go in denial. Because Muhammadan are #1 people in denial. They have no problem to believe in fairy tale story that Suleiman is a questioning ant and investigating the ant, and the ant she found that Suleiman, he have 1 letter more than in his name, so he must be more glorious. They have no problem that Suleiman have a flying car but can carry all his army. They have no problem that the Prophet of Allah received a dish of shish kebab and he got the power of 40 men in bedroom. Which I am jealous now, because I have the power of 30 men and a half. And the first time I heard this story about 40 men, I said to myself, how the Muslim, they measure the power of Muhammad private part? Did they like have a competition in the city? They brought Muhammad, and they brought many men, and everybody started doing boom boom. And then Muhammad is the only one who was able to do 40 men power. How you come to this conclusion? Why 40? What about 41? You will notice that always Muhammad, he stuck with 40, 70, 3. There's certain numbers, wherever you go, you cannot get out of them. If I go right now and I type in the hadith, the word 40, Al-Hasan was asked about the neighbor and said, term neighbor include 40 houses. The right, the left, 40 horses. That's it, 40 horses. This is the whole town, my idiot. Okay. Let us see the 40. This is just 40. But let us find something useful with 40. Hold on, give me a second. Your prophet is the only one who discovered that you will stay inside your mother as a sperm for 40 days, which is true. I wish those days come back. Laying down inside my mother womb as a semen, vacation time, watching movies, eating corn, you know, she eat phrase, I eat phrase, I do nothing. 40 days as semen and 40 days as a clot and 40 days as a piece of meat, and now you are a baby now. This is the science of a prophet 40. And not only that, the prophet, he received his religion at the age of 40. What a coincidence. When Muhammad became a prophet, he was 40. How Allah created us? 40 days you will be a semen. But why Google says you can be only 5 days alive inside a woman? How we are for 40 days as a semen? I cannot put semen anywhere. You cannot. Don't put your semen in the floor or somewhere. They will grow. You come second day, you will find a piece of a clot blood. The prophet science with number 40 is much connected. Now imagine, by the way, if scientists discover that semen can live for 40 days, what do you know? What do you think the Muslim would do about this hadith? Honestly, what do you think? They will post it everywhere. They will speak about it everywhere. But now they bury it. And this is Sahih al-Bukhari. Imagine if science agree. Mr. 40, Alibaba and the 40 thieves. You've been served and got busted. Let us see, we have a text. We have a text from a Muslim. Let us call him. Give me a second. All right, we have a Muslim trying, maybe he want to join us. Let us see and call him. Well, I called him before. He says call declined. You know, so we will see. If he is not playing games, we will take him. Hello? Hello? Yes, my friend, you are live on air.
Yes.
Are you a Muslim?
Yes. Shia.
You are a Shia. Okay, okay.
Yes.
Well, as long as you are a Shia, you know, I'm glad to have you, my friend, because usually we have Muslim Sunni. What Shia I mean?
I think it's the ones that support Ali.
It's what? The ones support Ali.
Yeah. Anyways, before we start, I do speak and read Arabic, so you can text me in that.
That's wonderful.
You know, if you want to show
But
me
as long you are a,
or something.
yeah, as long you are a Shia, there is a verse in the Quran says, you know what the word siraj mean? You said you speak Arabic, right?
Yeah, but this word is a little bit hard for me. Could you explain?
You just said you speak Arabic.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but because sometimes it's weak. My Arabic is weak.
Okay. Yeah, you speak Arabic, but you don't speak Arabic. I got it. So in the Quran,
No, I do. I can read. I can read.
Oh, you can. Oh, okay, that's good. So in the Quran, it says, chapter 33, verse number 46, that وَدَاعِيًا إِلَى اللَّهِ بِإِذْنِهِ وَسِرَاجًا مُنِيرًا. Is the Quran claiming that Muhammad
It's a lantern.
is a light?
It's speaking about the prophet here, right?
Yeah, so according to you, and the reason I quoted this verse, because as I know, that you as a Shia, you believe that Muhammad and his family are made of light. Is that correct?
Yeah, they say when Ali he married Fatima, they say النور تزوج من النور.
النورين, correct. So the Muslims, Shia, they believe that Ali and Fatima and Muhammad and Hassan and Hussein, they are made of light and they used to be in the forehead of Allah, correct?
Yeah. Well, made of light.
Okay. So, but
Not sure.
Adam is made of dust, right?
Yes.
So how Ali and Muhammad and they are children of Adam, but yet they are not like the children of Adam, because as long we are made of or from the seeds of Adam, well, we have to be dust and dirt. We are made of dirt.
Yes. This is.
Can you
See,
speak louder,
it.
please?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Sorry, I was breathing in the mic.
So how we are children of Adam, and are they children of Adam too or not?
Well, yes, according to the Sunni, but not sure about what the Shiites say.
No, you are a Shia, my friend. What
Yeah. Well,
about you? Open your interpretation and read for me. What do you think?
yeah, welcome.
Do you have a sheikh? He can join us. You can call him.
No,
The sheikh
not
in your mosque.
currently.
Who is the sheikh in your mosque? You can
Well,
call
we
him.
live in a Sunni,
You can call him.
and
Maybe he can help you better.
you can, if you want to open an interpretation, you can open Lukummi.
Yeah, but you see, now you say
But
to me, you agreed, so we do not need to go much. You agreed that Muhammad and Ali and Fatima and Hassan and Hussein, the whole family, they are made of light, and that's what the verse is saying, according to the Shia, and they used to be in the forehead of Allah. So now, as long they are made of light, that means they are not from the children of Adam, because Adam and his children are made from mud, from a clay,
yes.
correct? So what do you think about that?
Yeah, that is weird.
That's weird. Well, Islam is weird anyway. Don't you agree with me?
Definitely.
Okay, that's good. You agree with me. So as long you agree with me that Islam is weird, and you as a Muslim, you feel that you are in this ability to explain this weird religion. So why you call yourself a Muslim? Then why you don't leave Islam?
Well, CP, I can't make decisions like that without a lot of proof, because I know I appreciate your videos. You've helped me a lot, but most of the sources you show are Sunni sources. If you could show me a couple of Shia sources, then it would help me a lot.
Okay, but you agreed with me uh, about what Shia believe, so you did not even deny what I said. Why I want to show you source if you agreed? You said yes, they are made of light, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so when the Shia, they say that Ahlul Bayt makhluqat nuraniya, they are created from light, and then the Quran says Allah Himself is light.
Yeah. Yes. That's. Yeah. That does not match. I spoke to. I know a Sunni sheikh, and I asked him. I was like, "How do the Shia? They say like they're made of light, and Allah is light. Does that not make them equal?"
So what he said?
And how, have you ever heard them say شيء اسمه ولاية كونية?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very confusing, because you know how they say Hussein, he died of thirst. If he had ولاية كونية, couldn't he just make water for himself?
But there's more important than all of this. Like the Shia, they claim, by claiming that Muhammad and his family, they are made of light, and the whole world. And by the way, Shia and Sunni, they agree that
Yeah, they do.
Allah,
They say everything is made
He
by
created
Muhammad.
everything for the sake of Muhammad. So Shia
Yes.
and Sunni agree on that. And we have a hadith which is very famous. The Sunni, they agree upon it. It's called Lawlaka, Hadith Lawlaka, which means, if not you, Allah created nothing. It's for Muhammad. The Shia, they add
Yeah, I
more.
saw that one.
They say, if not Muhammad and Ali and Fatima and Hassan and Hussein, Allah will not create anything. Okay. So now, who is you, for you as a Shia, who is Ali?
I think they take him as a successor to Mohammed, but from what I understand, that some of them even view him as higher. Like, for example, they have Rawaya. I heard the Sheikh said it that Jibreel, he was sitting with Muhammad, and Ali walked in, and he stood up and said, "This is my teacher." And I thought that was very weird because that would mean Jibreel is learning from Ali.
Yeah. Ali, he, like Hassan al-Hussein, they speak 70 million languages. So obviously, the Shia, I speak 69 million languages, by the way. 70, I cannot do it, to be honest with you. But Hassan al-Hussein, they can speak 70 million languages. So you agree with me, obviously, that the Shia, they have a lot of fiction stories about people who obviously they make them equal to God.
Could you show me a couple?
About what?
The stories?
You mean funny stories?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
That would help, I guess.
All right. Let us see. And I will show you only from Shia. I wish I can play videos for you because
Al-Kafi or
videos are, they are.
Bahar al-Anwar.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Give me a second. Let us see.
CP, I'm almost finished with reading the New Testament, and I did read a bit of the Old. I read Genesis, and I'm almost done with Exodus.
That's wonderful. Okay, let us go. You mentioned to me Al-Kafi Al-Kilani, correct?
Al-Kafi, yes.
Al-Kafi is a Sheikh Al-Kilani. So this is a Sheikh Al-Kilani. Let us put it in the screen. And this is the Shia library. Shia library doesn't mean that the book is a Shia, but in this case, this is a Shia book. All right. Here there's some stories which I found them very funny, but here we have a story speaking about a donkey.
The donkey?
Yeah. وروي أن أمير المؤمنين. You understand me, right? You understand what I'm saying in Arabic?
If you want me to read and translate?
You can read. Go ahead. It's in front of you on the screen.
Okay. أتاني بها وقال يا محمد.
No, here. Read it from here. وروي.
Bottom. ثم قال يا بلال علي بالبغلتين.
وروي أن أمير المؤمنين عليه السلام قال. From here. You see it? Maybe the screen is not coming to you.
إن ذلك الحمار كلم رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله فقال بأبي أنت وأمي إن أبي حدثني عن أبيه عن جده عن أبيه كان مع نوح في السفينة. So he's saying the donkey was with Noah.
Yeah, but just to start from the beginning. The donkey here said to Muhammad, to Ali, what?
He said, إن ذلك الحمار كلم رسول الله. So the donkey spoke.
Yeah.
To the Prophet.
Okay, spoke to Muhammad, okay.
And he said, بأبي أنت وأمي إن أبي حدثني. So the donkey is narrating a hadith.
Yeah, saying.
And he said, كان مع نوح في السفينة.
بأبي you skip. فقال
Which one?
بأبي أنت وأمي. What does that mean?
قال لأبي
بأبي أنت وأمي.
أنت وأمي. He said, my father and my mother.
Yeah, but what does that mean? What he's saying, I'm willing to sacrifice my father and my mother for you.
Yes, because ba is like a way of swearing.
Yeah. So he is willing to sacrifice the donkey.
He's swearing on his father and his mother.
No, he's willing to sacrifice بأبي وأنت وأمي, which means I am willing to give my father and my mother for you, Muhammad. Okay, so the donkey now is willing to sacrifice his parents for the sake of Muhammad. How wonderful. And continue, okay? إن أبي حدثني عن أبي. So my father told me from his father. Continue.
And this is the donkey speaking.
Yeah, the donkey. The donkey, guys. The donkey
The
saying.
donkey,
The
he
donkey
became
said.
a hadith scholar.
The donkey said that my father told me from his father, from his grandmother, from his father. Translate. Go ahead.
The, do- the donkey's father, he told him about the donkey's father, also his other father, that when he was with Noah on the ship, um, Noah مسح على كفله. What does كفله mean?
كفله, I think, like his like the close area to his ass or in the top of him. Yeah.
يخرج من صلب هذا الحمار حمارا يركبه. So you know,
Translate so people
صلب
will.
his. Okay, so Noah, he touched the backside and said, from his sulb, which is between the backbone and the rib, right?
Mm-hmm.
There will come a donkey that the prophet will ride. How did they discover this?
So this is a prophecy from Noah that from this donkey, from this donkey, children's will be a donkey who will be will be rode by Muhammad. Correct? From the back.
Yes. First of all,
from the backbone, from the seed of this backbone donkey.
Yeah, backbone.
Yeah.
Yes. With the backbone story.
Yeah.
Isn't that biologically incorrect?
Yeah, but let us focus here. You said to me, show me some reference.
And this is correct, right?
Yeah, but what do you think? Well, this is the most authentic book for the Shia. This is Al-Kafi.
صح?
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, here we go. Al-Kafi, Al-Shaykh al-Kilani, volume number 1, page number 237 in front of you.
This is I don't know, but CP.
Yeah, I'm listening.
So why does this? I've noticed with a lot of the sources, they insist that sperm comes from the backbone.
Because what the Quran says, you know, the sperm coming from the backbone anyway. And there's other verse, which is chapter 18, verse number 86, says the sperm coming from the backbone, from between the backbone of the man and the ribs of the women. So they have no choice except to agree with it.
Oh, remember the verse earlier in the stream when you were talking about Paul in Surah Yasin? So I was reading the Shia tafsir, tafsir al-Qummi, and actually I did find almost the exact same thing. So it says three prophets, they went to Antioch, and they slept in the jailer's house.
Okay.
And from the book of Acts, which I read, I think there's a story about the disciples being jailed and then them being freed.
Yeah. Yeah, but we know that Islam is a religion, if we can call it religion, stealing stories from others. This is not a new. Everything you find in the Quran or in the tafsir is a theft. Everything. But for me, because you are a Shia, and as you said, usually the one who call me is Sunni. I don't know why Shia I don't call. But
they're the Shia that I know, they're close-minded.
The Shia are close-minded?
Well, they're open-minded, but that is not.
The Sunni are the same. The Sunni are the same. Like if I go right now, if I go to Iran and I say what I'm saying, I will be killed in 2 seconds. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the same. It's the same.
You will be killed before you arrive.
Before even I arrive, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, but if I say I want to do mut'ah, everything is good.
Remember, I told you I know Sunni Sheikh.
Yeah.
So you told me that the tafsir steal a lot from the Jews.
Yeah, but
yes. So he told me. I told him, what is عندهم أشياء اسمها إسرائيليات.
Mhm.
يعني يقولون إسرائيليات لا تكذب ولا تصدق. This is because they always
Exactly.
take from them, so they
Exactly.
can't say they're lies.
But you see, who is the one who said don't accuse them of lying and don't approve what they say? Do you know?
I think it's probably the Mohammed himself.
Muhammad, yeah. So لا تكذبوا ولا تصدقوا. Why Muhammad
Like
cannot
for
do that?
example, the stories of Suleiman from the Jewish Legion.
Why they cannot? You see, and this is telling us that the Muslim they don't follow their prophet, because if they follow it, they are doomed. So don't accuse the Christians and the Jews of being liars, and don't agree with them, which means don't agree, say yes. Why? Because Muhammad, he cannot debate them. He cannot prove them wrong. So he said clearly, don't say to them you are lying, and don't say to them you are truthful. So don't say anything. Why? Because he knew that him and his followers, they cannot refute or debate the Christians. So when I ask a Muslim, and that's why the Muslim, they made an article saying how to debate Christian Prince. They says if he said to you the prophet is good, don't say yes, don't say no, because whatever you say, he will get you busted. Muhammad trying to do the same.
They debate you by not talking.
Yeah, by saying
Or running away.
like we avoid the answer, and by doing that, we give them nothing, So don't accuse them. Don't say to them you are liars, and don't say to them you are truthful.
Also, I remember I heard you once speaking about Shia Rawaya about spanking.
Yeah.
Is that true?
This is about the sex.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
this
think,
is true. Yeah, this is true. Let me.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see if I can find it for you. Give me a second. But I want you to think with me until I find that reference. If Muhammad said to them, don't disbelieve and don't believe. What the heck is that? Don't believe.
So
don't disbelieve.
He's so he's saying ignore it, or what?
He's saying nothing. He's saying stupid. This is a stupid statement, because shouldn't you tell them believe or not? What does that mean to say don't believe and don't believe and don't disbelieve? So where are we now? That doesn't make any sense. But this is Islam. It's just a stupid cult. Let us find you some funny stories about.
The chat is saying I'm trolling.
No, don't listen to them.
No, it's because they're used to the people coming here and them not them just saying you're a liar, you're a liar, you're a liar.
Who care?
Okay.
People, they can say anything you want. Let us see. I'm trying to remember where that reference is.
But I
let me show you this one first, and then I will try to find the other one. This is the same book we did like a minute ago. As you see, this is Al-Kafi, right? Variant number 6, page number 465. It says here, it's telling you how to have sex and what is right and what's wrong. He said, can you see my screen?
On the screen.
Can you see my screen?
Wait. Yes, I see it.
All right. فقال ما لك والنعل الأسود. Go read and translate.
Oh no, I know this one.
You know this one?
This one is I know Sunnis, and I read this to them and they always laugh.
Yeah. So why read and translate to the people. You are a Shia, you will do better than me.
Do I have to read the chain, or can I just read?
No, just read what it says.
فقال مالك والنعل السوداء أما علمت أنها تضر بالبصر وترخي الذكر وهي بأغلى ثمن من غيرها وما لبسها أحد إلى أختل فيها.
اختلف فيها.
So he's asking Abi Abdullah, which is Hussein. He's asking him, what do you think about black sandals? And he's saying they make you blind, they make your erectile dysfunction, and they make you go crazy.
Yeah, so if you wear black shoes, your private part will not work, correct?
Well, you know, CP, I was wondering for a whole year why women wouldn't talk to me and why I can't see. Turns out it's because of my
Because
black
you are
shoes.
wearing black shoes, but the Shia, they encourage yellow shoes. You know?
What happens if I get yellow shoes?
If you read here, it says, قال دخلت على أبي عبد الله عليه السلام وفي رجلي نعل سوداء فقال يا حنان مالك. What's wrong with you? Why you are wearing black shoes? Don't you know that it have there's three things happen with it? It will make your vision weak if you wear it, make your penis limp.
Not work.
Limp, yeah. And will make you unhappy. All of this because you are wearing black shoes. And then he says, the guy, he said to him, so what what I should wear? He said, wear yellow shoes. It have three three options or three good things.
عليك بالصفراء فإن فيها 3 خصال تجلو البصر وتشد الذكر وتدرء اللهم وهي مع ذلك من لبس النبي.
من لباس النبي.
Wear the yellow sock. Yes. I mean the yellow sandal.
Yeah.
So make your privates better.
So this is the advice: wear yellow sandals because the black sandals will make your penis don't function, and have a three.
CP.
Yeah.
You know, when you read these, you wonder if like the guy, they're just walking around with him and he's just making stuff up as he goes.
Well, obviously those stories, I mean, this is, I don't know, this is stupid. If Ali, he said those stories or any of those.
It's not Ali, it's Hussein.
Yeah, I know, but Hussein or anyone who said those stories, if they already said a story, they are stupid. If they did not, even it's more horrible. That's mean the whole religion is corrupt. You know what I mean?
Okay, CP, have you ever seen the hadith where Muhammad, he went to a Jewish court and he swore on the Torah?
Yeah.
No. When you have like Muslims like Ali Dawah or Muhammad Hijab, and they go and say, "Oh, this book, the Torah, is corrupt." The Torah is like the first 5 books of the Old Testament, right? So, but those books, they contradict the Quran. So if Muhammad swore on them, wouldn't he be contradicting the Quran or affirming it?
Well, you know, just what we talked today about, you know, the Quran says, مُصَدِّقًا لِمَا مَعَهُمْ,
what they have currently.
Yeah, لِمَا مَعَهُمْ, what they have. And there's other verses saying what is between his hands, correct? Or between their hands. So the Quran in many places confirming clearly that confirming what is with them and what is between their hands. So when a Muslim, he come and he say, that will be a contradiction against the Quran. At the same time, when a Muslim, he says to me that your book is corrupt, he is saying to me that his God book is corrupt, because the Quran confirm that the one who sent this book is Allah, correct?
Yes.
So if Allah,
doesn't it say no one can contradict the word of Allah?
Yeah. If Allah in the Quran, he says nobody can change the word of Allah, correct?
Yeah.
Nobody can change it. So if none can change the word of Allah, and isn't it that Injil and the Torah confirm in the Quran that they are the word of Allah? So this will be a clear contradiction. If the Muslim, they say, no, what the Quran meant is the Quran, like the Quran, Allah is, he mean by saying nobody can change his words, and that is the Quran. That's mean the Injil and the Torah, they are not the word of Allah, because what he said, none can change his words. He did not say none can change the Quran. He says none can change his words.
According to that, the Gospel and the Torah and the Injil are his words.
Yeah. So, you know, I see that you agree with me in many things. So why you stay as a Muslim? I mean, you are saying to me you need more proofs. I mean, what more proofs you want me to give you that Islam is false? Like, do you believe in the flying carpet? Do you believe that?
Suleiman.
Do you believe like Al Hassan? He speak 70 million languages. What do you believe? Do you believe in those things?
Hassan, he
Do,
speaks
do,
70 million languages. Flying cups.
huh?
CP, these things, they don't make sense at all.
Well, actually, there is even some references that they speak all the languages of all creatures. But I need to find.
So, so he would go to like a bee and say buzz buzz buzz.
Yeah, he speak all languages. There is no language in this earth they don't speak it.
Why are I have spoken to many Shiites, and they do try to bend the word of, for example, John the Baptist when he says, "The one that is coming after me,
Yeah, well,
I'm not worthy."
the Muhammadan, they are desperate trying to find Muhammad. They could not prove Muhammad to be a prophet in their book, so they try to make a Muhammad is in our book. But this will be even
But
more funny.
but have you ever heard about the law of Lazm?
I want you to focus with
And,
me. I just found you something here.
okay,
I'm just taking advantage of having you as a Shia because usually we don't have Shia Quran. This is Al Sheikh Al Kilani, Al Kafi, very number 1,
yes.
page number 462. We go here, you will see hold on, where it says إن لله مدينتين إحداهما بالمشرق والأخرى بالمغرب. Continue reading.
Scroll the screen so I can see the rest.
All right. And translate, please.
Okay. Can you highlight the part where I read?
Yeah. إن لله مدينتين.
إن لله مدينتين أحدهما بالمشرق والآخر بالمغرب عليهما صور من حديد وعلى كل واحد منهم ألف
ألف مصراع.
ألف مصراع وفيها 70,000 لغة يتكلم كل لغة بخلف لغة صاحبها وأنا أعرف جميع اللغات وما فيها وما بينها وما عليها حاجة غيري وغيري.
Okay.
حسين أخي.
So, let me read. إن لله مدينتين إحداهما بالمشرق والأخرى بالمغرب عليهما سور من حديد وكل واحد منها 1000 مصراع وفيها 70,000 لغة. There is 2 cities.
70.
Yeah, there is two cities, one in the east and one in the west.
Yeah.
And those cities, they have a fence or like a wall from iron. And in each of those walls, there's.
And where are those cities?
That's it. In the east and the west. Don't ask. And in each wall, there is 1,000 door, which mean a million, door, and have in it inside those cities 70,000 language. 70,000 language. That is 70 million language, right?
700,000.
No, it says 70.
Oh yes, 7 million. 7 million.
No, it says 70, not 7.
Oh.
You see what 70.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes, 7.
So 70 million language in it, and he said, وأنا أعرف جميع اللغات وما فيها وما بينها, and I know all those languages and all languages, what is in it and what is between it. This is the Shia books,
It seems as if they'd make up anything to make them seem like they had miracles, but in reality they didn't.
Yeah, and obviously, like the Shia, they start adding stories about how amazing, how powerful, how so, like
It,
they are not a human like us. I mean, the guy, he speaks 70 million languages, and I feel jealous now because I speak only 69 millions. I feel really, really
well,
behind.
for you,
Yeah, what I
escape.
can do. Yeah. But so, my friend, how really I can help you? I mean, you are laughing with me at what you see in your books. So why you don't say I am out of this now?
CP, I can't say it on your
Ah, you cannot say it on air, you mean?
yes.
All right, you can say it to me later, no problem.
But CP,
Yeah.
before I go, I do need some help when debating my Shia friends. So if you'd show me a couple more, so
No,
I can
why you don't
help
bring
them.
your sheikh to talk to me instead of you debating him?
I bring
You
this.
can do this. You can do this. You can call your
I
sheikh.
okay. So
You can call
I get to
let
say
us make a plan. You call your sheikh and you tell him you text him, I have some questions. You call him and now he's talking to you, and then you add me in the conversation. And he say to him, I have a friend here, he wanna talk to you.
no,
He would
I
like to
can't
hear.
say a friend. They will kill
They say a person he like to join us.
a person online,
Yeah, he like to
and
join us. He have some questions or help you can ask him and answer him, and they will join the conversation. And then you just go and just watch what will happen. What do you think? Don't tell him Christian Prince. Never mention the word Christian. If you mention Christian Prince, he will flee.
the moment they hear anybody that knows something, they run.
Yeah, well, just don't mention me, and we can go from there. But anyway, about you need more stuff. Just watch my videos, my friend. There is tons, everything in the Quran. Okay, let me ask,
Yes,
just
but
to make it simple. Let me make it simple. What do you think the most convincing thing in Islam? Give me the most convincing. I will destroy it for you, and that's it.
give me a second. Yeah, CP.
Okay.
Yes, yes, I have it.
Okay, what is it?
The thing the Muslims they say about the wrong name of Pharaoh and Aman.
Yeah. Well, this is the
Yes.
easiest one. This is not the strongest. This is a very stupid one.
Well, all the other things, they turned out not to be true. So
Yeah. Well, this one is not true too, because you speak Arabic. You know that the word al is a word used before an individual name, not a title. So in chapter 2, verse number 49, it says, إذ نجيناكم من آل فرعون. آل فرعون. If you go down,
the
you will
family
see,
of Pharaoh.
yeah, the family of Pharaoh. But you will find that in the Quran, it confirms that the al is used only in front of individual name, not a title. So you will not say, it says in the front Ali al-Malik. You will not see Ali al-Wazir. It says Ali Fir'aun, Ali Ibrahim, Ali Lut. Like as an example,
If
chapter
it
4.
was a title, it would have Al Pharaoh, Ali Al Pharaoh.
Exactly. This is why there's no L before the name. It's a name.
Could you show me this in tafsir also?
I mean, this is obvious. The tafsir don't show really why it says al. It doesn't tell that.
It
But
doesn't
al,
talk about
yeah,
this.
but al is a word you add before an individual singular name, not a title. Because if it's a title, it's going to have al before the word, right? You mentioned it. So Malik is the word
The
al
title.
Malik because he's a specific person. So Ali Ibrahim, chapter 4, verse number 54. It is the family of Ibrahim. So the word al come before a name of a person. So when the Muslim they say that the Pharaoh, how Muhammad he knew about the Pharaoh, well Muhammad he think that this is his name.
Pharaoh. He
Yes,
thinks his name
this
is.
why he used the word Malik in different place, and he used the word
Oh, Aziz Masr.
yeah. So he used different because Pharaoh is a name of a person. That's what he think, and not only that. Muhammad he claimed that Allah he is going to marry him to marry the mother of Jesus,
I
and
did see that. That is horrible.
Yeah, but this is not the important now. Muhammad, he claimed, as long as they are talking about Muhammad knowledge, Muhammad, he claimed, and the Muslims agree, that the king in the time of Moses was Ramses II, right? All their videos, they agree, this is Ramses II. But Muhammad, he gave more details about this guy. His name is Pharaoh. He named for us the name of his wife. What is
Asya.
Asya? Asya, what? Bint Muzahim, right?
How did she become Arab? You don't
Yeah.
know.
So now Muhammad, he is giving us a false information that she is an
About
Arab,
the pharaoh.
and her father, his name is Muzahim, which is a very Bedouin name. You know, this is not
Yes.
even a name they use in cities. Let us see. I'm trying to find the hadith. Give me a second. All right, here we go. If you search right now in Google, who was the wife of Ramses II, you will find that her name is Nefertari.
Are you sure? So the pharaoh at that time, his name was Ramses.
And the
Ramses?
Pharaoh Ramses II.
Yes.
Yeah. So his wife is Nefertari, according to Muhammad. The wife is Asiya bint Muzahim. So now, you see, if Muhammad, he think that Pharaoh is just a title, he will not say the wife is Asiya, because there's many pharaohs. Which one? Correct? But he think there's
Yes.
only one pharaoh. That's why he says Imra'at Pharaoh.
Which pharaoh?
Which Pharaoh? You see, he is considering Pharaoh a person, and this is his name. This is not a title of a king or a job. This is
His name.
This is his name. So you will see here, Allah Apostle said, Mary amongst the men attained perfection, but amongst women, none attained the perfection except Mary. Many amongst men attained perfection, but according to him, only a few women, they are very close to perfection. Mary, and the daughter of Imran, and Asiya, the wife of Pharaoh. So this is a proof that this is a person. His name is Pharaoh, because Asiya, the wife of Pharaoh. Which Pharaoh?
Ramses.
Yeah, but this is obviously, he think it is a name, and then he in different hadith he mentioned that her name Asiya bint Muzahim. Not only that, even the hadith here, the Quran confirmed that
Well,
Muhammad.
CP, look, even in the translation, they don't say the wife of the pharaoh. They say the wife of Pharaoh.
They say the wife of Pharaoh. Yeah.
Yeah, and the is like if it's a proper noun.
And not only that, even the verse says Mary, the daughter of Imran. But Mary, she is not a daughter of Imran.
Yes. I was reading Al-Qummi also, and I noticed it calls Mary the daughter of Imran and Moses the son of Imran. So that would make Moses Jesus' uncle, which doesn't match up.
Yeah, you know, he's messed up.
Not even like in
There's
Islam,
a whole
it doesn't make
chapter.
sense.
There's a whole chapter in the Quran. It's called the chapter of
Al
Imran. And what is talking there about Moses, about, correct? So Al Imran is
Moses and
all
Harun.
those names mentioned in that chapter. Those Al Imran. This is why it's called the chapter of Al Imran. So Muhammad, not only he does not know who is Pharaoh, who is, he don't know everybody. I mean, this guy is messed up. He think that Maryam, because Muhammad, he get confused. Moses, he have a sister. Her name is Maryam. Her name is Maryam, So the idiot Muhammad, he heard that from the Jews. It come to his mind that Maryam is the sister of Moses and Aaron. And now, not only that.
CP, quick question.
Yeah.
So in the Old Testament, it says Maryam, she's different from Mary, right? She's the sister.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, Old Testament is before Mary was exist. How she would be?
Yes.
Yeah. So when Muhammad he made such a mistake, and here we go. You see, Ali Imran. You see the chapter. We are talking
Yes,
about
I have.
the word Al, right? Ali Imran,
Family of.
family of Imran. Imran is the guy, correct?
Yes.
Al is the family. So now this chapter should be talking only about the children of Imran, correct?
Yes.
But if we
Yes.
go, we will find that talking about Moses, talking about Aaron, talking about, you know, and actually, this Quran, as usual, is messed up, or John the Baptist,
CP.
yeah.
I've heard some people trying to duct tape this and say, "Oh, it's about the tribe of Amran," but it
But
doesn't also
okay,
make sense
even
because
if this
we
is
know
true,
Mary's from a different
Mary, she
tribe,
is
right?
not from the tribe of Amram. This is even
She's a descendant of
no,
David,
but
right?
they cannot say this is the tribe of Amran, because in the Quran, in chapter 3, verse number 35, it says, when Amran he said to his wife, how they can say this tribe of Amran? This is really stupid, even more. The Quran in chapter 3, verse 35 says, and when the wife of Amran said, "Oh my Lord, I have vowed to you what a child in my womb will be dictated to your service." Who is the one saying that? The wife
His
of
wife.
Amran. All right. Now, what she gave birth to who? To a female. Her name is Maryam.
Yes.
So this is not the tribe.
Also, but by the way, CP. Okay, if they say okay, this is not true, which would screw them over, but um, isn't it also if they say, "Oh, Mary's from the tribe of Amran," we know Mary's a descendant of King David,
It's different.
right?
It's a different tribe. Different tribe. Levi is not the same as the tribe. But for us, if you try to show them from the Bible, they will say we don't believe in it anyway, right? But we have Quran now. The Quran says that Imran is the father of Mary, and Imran, even in their books, is the father of Moses. So how it happened that Muhammad he says sister of Aaron? Why? Because simply he thought she is his sister. When the Jew guy, Ka'b al-Ahbar, he came to Aisha and he told her this is wrong. There's a huge
She
difference
said you're a
between.
liar.
Yeah, Aisha, she said to him, "You are a liar." And the Prophet he told the truth. So even Aisha, she believed the Prophet. He meant that. But now, Muhammad is too late. He made a verse. That's it. He said sister of Aaron. So now he have to fix it. So he starts saying, "Oh, they used to call them by their ancestor, but this is not from their ancestor." Secondly, uh, if she is, you should call her the daughter of Moses, the same as you call her the daughter of, Ibrahim, or the daughter of Adam, correct?
Yeah, that
Because
doesn't make.
because because a sister, the sister of, if me and you we are from the same generation, then I can call you in such a thing, right? Because we are talking about descendant, not just in religion. I can be called as a brother to someone who exists 1,000 years before me, no problem. But when I say sister of Aaron, because they are coming from the seed of that person, that is wrong, because you cannot call her sister. This is the grandfather supposedly. How she can be a sister? So whatever they
yeah,
try to go and take it, it doesn't work.
it it always falls back on them.
Yeah. As you
No,
see, what you gave me now is you said this is the strongest, but this is the most funny.
yeah, okay. Also, I asked you about Amun.
About what?
Amun. In the Quran, it says. Hold on, let me see. Let me show you. Uh, I have to find the verse, but I think it's a verse that says Amun Faraun.
You mean Amun ibn Haman? You mean
Haman, yes, Haman.
Haman? Okay, Haman. Yeah. Well, Haman is another stupid thing, because Haman was a person exist in different time, have nothing to do with the Pharaoh, was not exist in the time of the
What
Pharaoh.
time did he exist?
I'm not really sure in history. You can search that to give you exact years. I don't like to give.
It says he's in the book of Esther.
Yeah, but I'm saying about the years exactly. You will find a huge difference between this person and the Pharaoh.
And Pharaoh.
How this person, he is from different country. This is number one. He is not exist in the time of the Pharaoh, and he is not. Muhammad is confused about the one who built the Tower of the Babylon.
Yes, he said the Tower of Babylon.
Yeah.
Well, he calls it the
So
Tower of Babel.
yeah. So now
But then he says the Pharaoh
the
built
Pharaoh,
it.
exactly. The Pharaoh, he ordered a Haman to build a tower, and then the Pharaoh, he want to see if Moses can go up to this tower and speak to his God, which is very funny, So this is a wrong history, and the Muslims, they have to duct tape again, as usual. All the histories in the Quran is absolutely false. As an example, a Samiri, the Samaritan, they were exist in the time of Moses according to Muhammad, but this is not true. They were exist.
What verses?
So Adallahum Samiri, according to Muhammad, Moses, he went away for some time, and he came back and he found them worshipping a cow. Why?
The golden calf.
Yeah, because a Samaritan person,
the angel of a dust.
he
Dust of an angel.
he did mislead them, but those people are not exist at that time. So what do you mean? How that happened? The Quran is just a silly book all over. It doesn't matter where you go. Actually, this guy, he have nothing to do with this religion. He lived between the Jews. He learned stories from the Jews, and he start making it Quran. But obviously he's messed up. And when the Jews, they discovered that his guy is copying them, Muhammad, he act in a very weird way, which is exposing his stupidity.
He did the opposite of that.
He do the opposite. Like, as an example, once he was praying in a funeral. He ordered a Muslim actually to do act differently in everything the Jews they do, because the people noticed he is copying the Jews. So here it says, and this is Sahih Hadith, that the Messenger of Allah used to stand up for the funeral, entered the corpse where was placed in the grave. A learned Jew once passed by him, and he said, "This is how we do it." That's all. The Prophet, he said, sit down, act differently from them.
So he used to copy them, for example.
No, but hold on. If I am a messenger of God and I'm praying, am I praying as Allah taught me, or I'm making up a prayer? What do you think?
You're praying as your God taught you.
Exactly. So why I want to change it just because of a Jew? He said this is how we pray. What the problem?
Well, then you tell him, my God also says this.
Yeah, he can say, yeah, actually this is kind of support the Muslims saying, you know what? Yeah, we have the same God with the Jews, so we pray the same way. What the problem?
Actually,
but because he feel guilty, because he knew that he is a thief, and he's trying to copy the Jews, and by doing that, by saying act differently, it shows us that Muhammad, he can change his religion in the speed of light. I was praying all the time in such a way. A Jewish walk by and say, this is how we do it. What is the response? Sit down, act differently. Did Muhammad receive Quran?
No.
He just a guy, he walked by, said this. So what if Muhammad was pissing, holding his private part, standing? The Jew walked by, says, this is how we do it. You will sit down, act differently. What if Muhammad is eating using his mouth, and the Jew, he said to Muhammad, this is how we do it? Shall Muhammad stop doing that? So obviously what the story here proving to us that Muhammad, he make up prayer, he create his own prayer now, because he don't want to be accused to be copying the Jews. Otherwise, and if he was doing the prayer not as Allah told him, so he decided to fix it, that is even better, more horrible news for Muhammad, because now he is making things up.
CP, I once was in Medina. You know Medina?
Yeah, Yathrib.
And I was taken by my parents to Masjid al-Qiblatain, and they say the Prophet was praying, and he suddenly changed direction in the middle of prayer.
Yeah.
and the old Qibla was at a city of Jews. I think Petra or
You know,
I'm not.
the Muslim, they claim it is Jerusalem, but
I don't think it's Jerusalem,
yeah, but there's no proof that it was
because
Jerusalem because
CP Masjid al they call it Masjid al-Aqsa.
Al-Aqsa,
It was built by Abdul Malik
Abdul Malik
after Muhammad.
ibn Marwan, yeah.
Yeah, so how could it be mentioned in the Quran before 150 years?
Yeah, it's not exist yet exactly. But not only that, the Quran never said anything that this said.
About Jerusalem,
Yeah, about Jerusalem. It says Aqsa, which means
Masjid al-Aqsa,
the farther, you know, the
the
farther.
furthest.
Yeah, the farthest. So, but Jerusalem is not far really from Mecca or Jeddah. You know, like if the Aqsa is exist in Australia, I would say okay, you have a point. You know, but this is a very short trip.
But according to them, it wouldn't even be a masjid. It would be a Jewish synagogue.
Actually, even Muhammad, he agree that the one who built the temple, it was Suleiman and his father David. You know.
Yeah, which is weird. Is the shaitans and the jinns were the ones
Yeah,
building
this is
it.
what we were reading, you know, today about Suleiman, etc. So, and this is all the influence of the city you went to is the city of Medina, called Medina today. That means you did Hajj, right?
No, Medina's
Did you go to
Mecca's
Mecca?
Hajj. Oh, I never went there.
But your parents went there?
I think my mother, she did Umrah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you missed it because you did not get the chance to kiss the holy stone, man.
Black stone.
Yeah, the black stone, you know. Yeah, I mean, the whole
You know, they
religion.
build Shaitan new apartment.
Yeah, they built a new apartment, exactly. Apartment complex, 3 floors. Yeah, maybe
You know, you're supposed to.
maybe people do
They
not
buy
know
him
what are
new
you talking
stones
about.
so you can throw at him.
Let us see, just to try to help people to understand.
So how, CP?
Yeah,
How is Shaitan? He's supposed to piss in your mouth, and he's living in Mecca.
unbelievable.
He sleeps in your nose, but he's in Mecca at the same time.
Yeah, I'm trying to
That's it.
find old pictures of the house of Shaitan, the old apartment of Shaitan.
You know what? Hajj is actually at a certain point. It was called the Sibaha because it used to flood.
Exactly, yeah. We have pictures of it actually.
Multiple, which is then they had to bring the kafar engineers
Yeah.
to fix it.
Okay. I will show, guys, he was saying, when he said that they build a new apartment for Shaitan, he meant about this. So this is the old apartment of Shaitan. Shaitan, he lived there. And the Muslim, they throw rocks. And look at the rocks. Look how they are piling up. And then they have to move those crowd. Everybody is coming to throw rocks at the apartment of Shaitan. Shaitan is
It's on the
inside.
screen so they can see.
Yeah, I put on the screen. And look how much rocks. And then the government, they have to come and then they have to clean all those rocks out, you know, inside the circle. And many people get injured. But then when the number of the Muslims getting bigger and bigger, coming to visit the Kaaba, doing Hajj, the apartment of Shaitan became very moderate. Look at the apartment of Shaitan.
Shaitan,
Look what happened.
He gets raised by Saudi Arabia.
So now they have many floors, you know, and the Muslim, they throw rocks, and then there's trucks underneath to take the rocks. So now they have okay. By the way, hey Muslims, when you build the house, the new house of Shaitan, did you evict the Shaitan from his apartment? Where he go? Where he took vacation? I mean, what the heck is that? So
CP
how?
Shaitan, he gets a raise
Yeah, like
by Saudi Arabia, and now they are paying
no,
him
what
more.
they did, I think, they bought a ticket to Shaitan to go to Honolulu. The guy, he came back, he don't know what's happening. They told him there's nice girls there, bikini, go there. He went there. He come back home. He found his old house is gone. and they build a nice villa, many floors, elevator, air conditioning, and look at the
CP.
Muslims are lined up. You know, what if somebody pushed somebody and threw him here? What happened? This is the house of Shaitan. And not only that, they have many now. They don't even have one. Look at this picture. I don't know what is this. They have more than one. What is this? No.
A funny
Do
thing
you see the
is,
picture with me? This is something
yes,
I did not see before.
CP.
They built the three of them. Not only one now. There's three.
Yes, Shaitan, he gets an upgrade.
What the heck is that? And look at
Yes,
this one. Look at
anyways,
this one. Look at this one. What the heck is this? You know?
they built him a skyscraper.
And look at this Abdul. He wanna throw the rock. Allahu Akbar. Death to you, Shaitan. Man, look at this guy. How much he's excited. He hates Shaitan. He wanna throw rocks at the Shaitan. My friend, I have to hang up on you because soon I have to go. But you can call me anytime, all right?
CP, before we go,
Yeah.
when I was in Medina, they told me, by the grave of the Prophet, there is the grave of Abraham.
Yeah.
What bring Abraham to the middle of the desert?
Don't ask me. Don't ask me. Enough is enough. Well,
Listen,
yeah.
before you, so I can call if I have any questions about anything. I can call you, right?
Sure. You're welcome. Thank you for calling. Take care.
I appreciate you.
And be happy actually if you help me to get some Shia sheikhs, you know, or Muslim Sunni.
Christian first, I will bring you the one with the biggest imama.
That would be the best, you know. I will give you a reward. I will give you a free trip to throw rocks with 7 rocks to throw them on Shaitan. I will pay for the rocks.
Shaitan Tower.
All right, take care. Yeah. Well, I find it funny. He don't want to say he is out of Islam, but obviously you are out of Islam. It's all right. But look at this guy, how he's excited. He want to throw rocks at the Shaitan, and the Shaitan is waiting for them in his house. And it's very funny that the Shaitan and their God live in the same location. Neighbors. God and Shaitan. The house of Allah is here. The house Shaitan is next door. Neighbors. And now this poor man, maybe from Pakistan, he spent a lot of money, maybe his lifetime saving, to travel all the way to Saudi Arabia so he can go around a stone, kiss a black stone, his sin is erased, and now he have to throw rocks at the enemy of Allah. So he go there and mostly he will get injured by somebody hitting him instead, because do you see how much crowd? You know, when somebody he is at the end, he throw a rock, how he can reach? How a woman she can reach? The rock will fail in somebody in front of you and will open a hole in his head. You know? That's why now they are like forcing people not to use, like there is certain size of rocks you can use. Before they used to use big rocks and many people get killed. But look how the Shaitan house has been abrogated from this little tiny, just 100 years ago, hole with a column in it, to many floors. Look at this. This was the old house of Shaitan. I wish I can take you all a trip, vacation, to visit the house of Satan. Like say hello. Shaitan lived there. Why we don't get Shaitan arrested? And that's it. The whole world is, you know, having fun. Everything is good. Really, what a stupid pagan religion. Crazy. This woman, look. This woman, she want to throw rocks. This woman, she want to throw rocks, brother. The army, they are carrying her. She want to do her obligation. Her Hajj will not be complete if she don't throw rocks. She can't walk. She is in a wheelchair. And now they are raising her up so she can't throw the rocks, brother. Man. Look at this guy. Look like this guy is coming from Indonesia. And by the way, there is another question about why they dress like this, like Hindus. Simply because there's a lot of origin coming from the Hindu belief. You will notice that they clothe themselves the same as a Hindu priest, the same as Buddhist. They are naked, wearing a sheet showing one shoulder, covering the other shoulder. Do you see it? There's tons of proofs that this is coming from the Hindus' belief. You wrap yourself with a sheet, you show one shoulder, there's certain kind of shoes you have to wear, and actually those are they are not shaving their head. You have to shave your head. If you look at this guy, aren't you going to think you are looking at somebody as a Hindu? Look, this guy, how much he is excited. Man, this guy is flying to throw the rock. Like those you see in the Olympic, he want to jump over the wall with the stick. He is so excited, brother. Man, oh man. This religion must be true. Oh, mommy. Oh, this guy is taking a selfie. He is throwing rocks at the shaitan. Hey, brother, can you show us the selfie? Like, did you find shaitan in the image? Like, when you look at the picture, did you see the shadow of shaitan? Taking selfie? I mean, it is time for a selfie. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a good time. And it's time for us to go. We are here for how many hours? You see, we keep our promise to come over in the time of your people in Europe. They are here. But I hope you will invite more people when we go live on air. We have 1,019 people. I hope more they will be here when we come in European time. I will try to come live on air tomorrow, if I could, if not the day after. Until that, I say to you, may the Lord bless you all. And I really appreciate all the smart answers or comments. People, they will say in the comment section, it's not nice that you come here, you are so good in the chat, but when we finish our stream, you go dead. Your comment can help the videos to be spread. Share the link, give a like if you care. If you like it, we are not asking you to give it a like if you don't like it. We do everything we can so we can teach you, and it's for free. Can't you just make a comment, give a like, share the video with your friends? Is it hard? Is it a mission impossible? The Lord, he said that from their fruits you shall know them. So even if something is so cheap you are not willing to do, what you are willing to do? We are victorious, not because we are rich, and not because we are strong, not because we are carrying swords, but because the Lord is with us. And we have the truth in our side. And if the truth is with me, which is the Lord, who could be against me? The Messiah, he said, I am the truth. I am the way. I am the resurrection. I am the life. I am he. We have and we follow and we believe in the living Messiah. They have nobody. Their prophet is dead. Their God does not exist, and they are black stone kissers. The Messiah will come back, and you will be questioned for kissing stones, for praying and bowing down in front of stones, for believing in false prophet. You will be questioned. And even Muslims are waiting for the Messiah to come back. So the living Messiah, my friend, is the living God. And he have a duty to do. He will be the judge over all mankind. Get ready to be judged by the only judge. And if you are a Muslim, what you will say to that judge? I was following a person who have interest in children to sleep with. A criminal, a thief. He taught me how to lie. He taught me you can lie to 3, your wife, The wife lied to her husband. The husband lied to his wife, to your friend, to your enemy. Who's left? Are you going to explain to Jesus why you are allowed to lie and practice taqiyya? Isn't it Jesus says, say yea, yea, or nay, nay, anything else is from the devil? Are you going to tell Jesus that I was believing in Muhammad because he promised me a lot of women for sex? You made God pimp? Since when God is pimp? He's busy right now making virgins for us. How you claim that God is holy, but his promise is dirty? If the house of God is so dirty, is a sex house, what about the God you worship? How clean he is. Our God is holy, his name is holy, his act is holy, and he is the living, holy God. We worship him, we follow him, we believe in him, and we are in your book called the people of the book. But in your book, nowhere it's called you the people of the book, because you never have one, you never have God. So even your Satan, aka Allah, he confirmed that we are the people of the book. So when a Muslim, he says that our book is corrupt, that is additional stupidity from you. Because if our book is corrupt, how you call us people of the book? Have you ever heard somebody calling somebody is bald, the guy with the hair? Only ones they do that is idiots. He's bald. So when the Quran keep calling us people of the book, and you say that we don't have a book, that means you are an idiot. And you are going against your own God words, if he is God. Thank you all. See you soon again. And this is your brother Christian Prince, was serving you humbly for today. God bless.